Greetings to you. There is a significant insight arriving for you now concerning that individual who lingers in your thoughts. A deep, internal shift is taking place within them, a moment of stark realization that is altering their entire landscape. They are navigating a profound emotional reckoning. The intuitions you've carried, those subtle whispers of the spirit, are being confirmed. This person is confronting a tide of sorrow they did not anticipate. In this season of reflection, their eyes are opening to the potential cost of their past decisions, particularly the risk of losing a bond of genuine value. Quiet moments have become a mirror for them. During solitary drives, in the stillness of the night, or when a familiar melody stirs a memory, your presence visits them. It is not a voice of reproach they recall, but the steady tone of your compassion, a quality they may have once overlooked. The burden of this understanding is tangible, affecting their focus and their interactions with the world. Their mind tirelessly revisits the past, examining moments where a different choice could have been made, where a door was closed when it might have been kept open. They are now perceiving the finer details, the unspoken cues, the quiet hopes that were dimmed, the resilience in your patience that they mistakenly interpreted. This aligns with a timeless truth: we ultimately gather what we have sown throughout our lives. They are now in the season of that harvest. Please understand this clearly. This process is about growth, not penalty. It is the universe's method of instruction, rooted in love. True love sometimes allows the natural weight of a consequence to be felt, for that is often the only catalyst strong enough to inspire genuine transformation and break old, confining cycles. This is not an end, but a difficult and necessary passage toward becoming a different person. The essential perspective for you: while this transformation unfolds for them, your path is distinct. This information is not a signal to wait or to intertwine your peace with their process. Their journey belongs to them. Yours is the dedicated cultivation of your own well-being and forward motion. There is immense power in releasing someone to their own lessons without carrying the burden of those lessons yourself. Consider this: there is a critical difference between justice and peace. What they experience may be a form of natural justice, their alignment of actions and outcomes. But your peace is a separate creation. It is an internal sanctuary you build through acceptance and self-compassion. You can acknowledge their struggle without allowing it to dictate your emotional state. Your ultimate strength lies in this focused choice: to tend to your own spirit, honor the wisdom you've gained, and direct your energy toward the future you are now free to design for yourself. They are now seeing you clearly, perhaps for the first time. A new awareness is dawning on them, revealing the person you truly are. What they finally recognize is your quiet power. It was never loud or forceful. It was the steady, immovable strength that comes from a person who understands their own value, someone who refuses to make themselves smaller for another's comfort. They see the dignity you carried. You met their unreliability with a calm poise, choosing silence over a scene, and walking away without seeking to cause them harm. You offered a whole heart consistently, even when they were only giving you fragments of their attention, the pieces left over after they had spent their best energy elsewhere. Now, in the quiet space where your presence once was, they feel a profound emptiness. Your warmth, your light, has been withdrawn. It's as if they lived for years in a sunlit room, never thinking to be grateful for the light, and now they are left in a cold shade, understanding too late how much they relied on that warmth to thrive. This truth echoes a spiritual principle: to those who recognize and cherish a blessing, more will be given. But from those who take it for granted, even what they have will fade away. They took your love for granted, and they are now feeling the hollow reality of a life without it. Specific memories are returning to them now with piercing clarity. They are haunted by moments when you reached out, open and needing support. In those sacred opportunities for true connection, they were absent, lost in their own fear, blocked by pride, or too focused on themselves to see the gift you were offering them. One memory, in particular, plays on a loop. A moment when you were hurting, and they failed to see it. They dismissed your pain, downplayed your feelings, or were simply too distracted to notice you were struggling. They now remember the exact look in your eyes, how you tried to conceal your disappointment, gathered yourself, and kept moving forward as if it didn't matter. But it did matter. And now, so does that memory. It mattered deeply. Every time they looked away, every small dismissal was like a single brick. Without realizing it, they were building the wall that now stands between you. But please understand this, what is happening now is not an accident. It is a sacred realignment. Your silence was never a sign of defeat. It was your deepest wisdom speaking. When you stopped begging for crumbs and chose to walk away to protect your own spirit, you were following a divine whisper for your life. You were guarding your heart, just as the scriptures advise, because you understood that everything good in your life must flow from that protected, sacred space inside you. You chose not to let their chaos trample the beautiful garden of your soul. Now, they are left with a crushing question that echoes in their emptiness: have I lost them forever? This thought terrifies them. It invades the quiet of their day and the silence of the night. They are afraid the door is not just closed, but locked. They fear the damage is permanent, and that you have healed so far beyond them that there is no path back. They are realizing, too late, that while they were playing games with a love they took for granted, you were quietly preparing a life without them. Their fear is so powerful because they finally see what they threw away. It's more than just missing your presence. They are grieving the loss of how you made them feel truly seen, entirely accepted, and completely safe. They ache for the peace that came from your consistent, unpolluted love, a love that was a shelter from their own internal storms. They look at you now through the clear, painful lens of regret. And they see a transformation. They see how you have grown stronger, more grounded, and radiant in your own purpose during this time apart. They see the very strength they once overlooked. Yet, this is where your path and theirs definitively part. Their awakening is their journey. Your responsibility is to the peace you have cultivated. Do not mistake their regret for a roadmap leading you back. It is simply a signpost confirming you were right to leave when you did. You have not just moved on from an old situation. You have moved into a new version of yourself, one who knows their worth, guards their peace, and no longer settles for fragments of love. That is your unshakable ground. Stand firm in it, and continue walking forward into the life that awaits you, built for you and by you. It is clear now, even from afar. The joy in your life, the peace you carry, it shines through. They can see it. You are glowing with a confidence you never had when you were tired from trying to convince them to stay. They watch this change in you with a mix of awe and deep sorrow. The hardest part for them is knowing they were not there for any of it. They were not the one cheering you on, holding your hand through the tough changes, or celebrating the new person you have become. They left their place by your side, and in that space, you were not alone. God stepped in, or perhaps your own spirit finally had the room to breathe and grow. Now, they are just spectators to the very life they could have shared, and the cruel truth is this: your greatest growth happened once they were gone. This understanding has brought them a regret that is almost too heavy to carry. This is not a simple "I miss you." This is the crushing weight of knowing, I broke the most precious thing I had with my own two hands. The feeling is so strong it can make them feel physically ill. They are lost in a cycle of wishing they had been braver, more steady, more present. They are grieving the future they threw away. They are haunted by the life you could have built, the ordinary Sundays and the exciting adventures that will now only ever be daydreams. They know, with perfect and painful clarity, that they are the reason it is gone. But this message is for you. Hear this clearly: God saw all of it. He saw every tear you cried when you thought you were not enough. He heard every silent question in the dark, when you wondered if you were asking for too much by simply asking to be loved properly. He was there for every long night you spent turning conversations over in your mind, searching for your mistake. There was no mistake to find. You did nothing wrong. Your only error was loving someone with a whole heart, and that is not a sin, it is your strength. The loneliness you felt was not a reflection of your worth, but a measure of their inability to meet you where you were. You are not unlovable. You were simply loving someone who was, at that time, unable to love you the way you deserved. Let their regret be their lesson. Your story is no longer tied to their understanding of it. You have walked through the fire and have emerged, not burned, but refined. The glow they see is the proof. It is the light of your own spirit, finally free to shine without being dimmed. That light is yours to keep. Walk forward in it. That is exactly it. You simply loved someone who did not have the capacity to hold that love with care. Every time you arrived with your whole self, willing and open, they arrived distracted, only partway there. And every single time, you were seen. Every effort you made, every time you chose hope when they chose doubt, every time you stood firm when they ran, it was all witnessed. And when you made the brave choice to step away, that decision was honored. All this time, while you've been healing, a quiet and powerful realignment has been at work. You were being prepared, piece by piece, for a love that doesn't require you to shrink, a future far greater than the one you were quietly accepting. There is a wisdom that speaks of two kinds of sorrow. One is a deep, godly sadness that leads to real change and leaves no lasting regret. The other is a surface-level, worldly pain that simply leads to emptiness. What they are feeling now sits at the crossroads of these two. The true question is this: will their pain become a doorway to genuine transformation? Will it break down the pride and fear that hurt you, or will it just be a temporary ache they soothe by repeating old patterns with someone new? Please hold this truth close to your heart. You are not their rescuer in this story. This season is not your burden. This is their necessary journey. Like the story of the son who had to lose everything before he found his way home, this person must walk this path alone. It is not cruelty, it is the deepest form of mercy. Lasting change is not born from a little regret. It is born from the kind of surrender that happens when someone finally falls to their knees and says, "I cannot do this alone." If they are ever to become someone capable of honoring a love like yours, they need this reckoning far more than they need you to save them from it. Your purpose now is beautifully clear, and it has nothing to do with easing their pain. Your purpose is not to reach out, to explain, or to offer another chance before the real work is done. Your purpose is to remain steadfast in the person you are becoming. To keep healing. To keep growing in your own light. To trust, completely, that if this connection is meant to be part of your story, it will be restored in a timing that is perfect, and it will be rebuilt on a foundation of rock, not sand. Remember the promise: in all things, there is a divine work happening for your good. Your love for them was never the problem. Your decision to finally love yourself more was the beginning of everything good that is yet to come. Stand firm in that. Your peace is the proof that you are on the right path. Yes. All of it heartache, the quiet, the space between you is working a purpose you cannot yet fully see. Even on the days it feels like you are standing still, or even stepping back, you are being guided forward. You are being aligned with a plan for your life that is greater than any pain you have walked through. You need to hear this, and hear it clearly. You were never asking for too much. You were asking for the foundation. You asked for steadiness, for truth, for a heart that was present, for a love that matched your own. You asked for someone to meet you where you were, just as you always met them. Those are not extravagant requests. They are the simple, sacred standards of how we are meant to care for one another. The scripture does not say love is convenient or forgetful. It says love is patient. It is kind. It does not keep score. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. You deserved a love that looked like that. You still do. To accept anything less was not love. It was the slow, quiet act of leaving yourself behind. It was placing the sacred heart God gave you into hands that were not ready to carry its weight. So let this be the season where their sorrow becomes their own teacher. Let their regret be the mirror that shows them the person they must choose to be. Let the weight they feel now be the very thing that finally changes them for good. And you? You keep walking. Walk in the quiet strength that brought you here. Honor the boundaries you built to save yourself. Protect the peace you have gathered back, piece by precious piece. You are not moving on from love. You are moving toward the love that has been waiting for you all along, the kind that will know how to hold you without being told. Keep walking. Your future is ahead of you, and it is bright. Believe this completely. A story is being written for you that is more beautiful than any you could plan yourself. Each part of your journey, even the sorrow and the uncertainty, has a place in a larger design. Heaven wants you to understand this. Your future is perfectly secure. One of two things will happen. Either this person will return, genuinely changed and finally able to love you as you deserve, or a new person, already aligned with your worth, is being prepared for you. The outcome is guided by a wisdom greater than our own. Your role is to focus on your own restoration, your own growth, and to practice deep trust. The rest, the details, the timing, the other heities in the hands of a love that never makes mistakes. That love never fails in its purpose. A closing prayer. We come to you with gratitude for your constant care. Thank you for providing the strength to choose self-respect over empty connection. We ask for your gentle healing to continue. Wrap them in a calm that defies circumstance, and let your intention for their life unfold as it should. We also bring before you the one they remember. If a renewed bond is part of your design, we ask that you make both hearts completely new, ready in every way to build something lasting and good. But if this chapter has ended, we ask for the quiet courage to accept that ending, and to look forward with hope to the new beginning you have prepared. We trust in your timing. We believe that no plan against their well-being will stand. The pain of the past will become a testament to your faithfulness. We speak into their life now, clarity, renewal, and the deep, quiet peace that comes only from you. Amen.